Last week, during a campaign event, New York Republican Congressman and now gubernatorial candidate Lee Zeldin was attacked by a member of the crowd.
It was around 8 o'clock last night outside the VFW post in a little town about 15 minutes southwest of Rochester in Monroe County. The attacker can be heard saying, quote, "You're done," as he went on stage, was grabbing at Zeldin. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office arrested 43-year-old David Jacobonis and charged him with attempted assault in the second degree. Zeldin was not injured, and he was back on the campaign trail today.
It was a scary incident, as you can see there. We're living through a very fraught moment where politically motivated violence looms over our public life, so that made it particularly scary. And the attack was rightfully, swiftly condemned by Zeldin's opponent, Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul, and President Joe Biden, and many others. Now, thankfully, Congressman Zeldin was not hurt. His would-be assailant had been drinking. He was wielding a kitten-shaped keychain with sharpened edges. That's it right there. He says he didn't even know who Zeldin was, so his motivations remain unclear. But in the aftermath of this genuinely scary incident, Zeldin's campaign saw an opportunity to take lemons and make political lemonade. You see, Lee Zeldin has been running in a kind of old-school, tough-on-crime, lock-em-up campaign, with the primary focus of his ire being New York State's bail reform laws, which make it so that some misdemeanor and nonviolent offenders don't have to sit in a cell awaiting trial simply because they don't have the money to afford bail. Remember, bail is fully adjudicated based on your ability to pay, right? So the night of the attack, Zeldin makes this bold prediction. He gets on Twitter and he says, quote, "The attacker will likely be instantly released under New York's laws." And my gosh, wouldn't you know it, Zeldin nailed it. Totally got it right. In fact, the very next day, his attacker was charged with attempted second-degree assault and released from jail without bail. Zeldin immediately went on the offensive. He held press conferences about bail reform. He did an interview with Fox News anchor Sean Hannity, where he again blamed New York's criminal justice laws.
He is charged with a violent felony, and he is instantly released back on the street because of New York's cashless bail laws. I saw it coming. I wish it wasn't this way, and we keep hearing too many of these stories.
I saw it coming. You hear that? Now, first of all, he's wrong there. The attacker was not charged with a violent felony, which is kind of the point, actually. But the narrative was already set. Even Donald Trump mentioned it during his speech today. Just another example of the soft-on-crime approach from the libs, too worried about making nice to the BLM folks to keep our streets safe. As you might have guessed, the story's a little more complicated than Lee Zeldin initially let on. It's because people naturally started asking, well, wait a second, who's the prosecutor who only charged this guy with attempted second-degree assault? Well, the district attorney from Monroe County, New York, where the attack happened, is a woman named Sandra Doorley. And as it turns out, Sandra Doorley is a personal friend of Lee Zeldin. Just 3 months ago, she was listed as official co-chair of his gubernatorial campaign, position she's now trying to distance herself from. And it gets better. Sandra Doorley was at the rally where Zeldin was attacked. She's a supporter. She's a friend. Zeldin apparently spoke with Sandra Doorley, the DA of Monroe County, just minutes after the incident. And it was Doorley's office which made the affirmative decision to charge the attacker with a crime that would be eligible for release without bail. Although Doorley says she did not make the decision personally, that her office was just deferring to what the sheriff's department recommended. But it's a little odd. You see, Monroe County prosecutors are known for pressing more serious charges, for requesting bail more often than other New York counties. Sandra Doorley's law and order politics are in line with Lee Zeldin, so you might see how it might look like Doorley's office worked to gin up a politically convenient narrative for Zeldin's campaign, which she's listed as co-chairing. Now, Doorley announced she would be recusing herself from the Zeldin case yesterday, and the whole controversy is somewhat moot anyway because his attacker is not roaming the streets of New York. He is currently being detained on federal assault charges. Goes without saying that attacking a city congressman is a crime the federal government takes very seriously. But again, the damage has been done. Just an absolute perfect example of the way that we discuss law and order, crime and justice in this country. Because yes, it was a serious crime. And it's also true that in the larger sense that we've seen an increase in violence, right? We need answers to that problem. We need to talk about it in clear-eyed, rigorous fashion. But then on top of those real issues, right, like Zeldin really was attacked, We also have Republican politicians, conservative propagandists, opportunistically attempting sometimes false, other times disingenuous arguments against the small amount of criminal justice reform we do have in this country, which, by the way, folks, still the most heavily incarcerated country on earth. Our job as journalists, regardless of ideology or politics, is just to separate